Greetings, it's Felicia the Gem. It's been a while since I've made a video. I've taken some time to kind of step back and look at a lot of the things I was doing and really kind of hone into the things that, as a good friend of mine says, makes my heart sing. And one of the things that I'm going to discuss in this video, it's not going to be long. I just want to kind of give you guys an update of where I am and what to expect. And so there are two things that I've realized that really go hand in hand and also fall under the umbrella for everything I do, which is spirituality. I am the gem, the God-empowered miracle. My spirit speaks, and I speak from my spirit. So I only do things that can resonate in my spirit, that can promote spiritual growth in myself and other people, as well as, glorify God. So in doing some soul searching and really trying to figure out where the direction I wanted to go in this season, and you'll hear me refer to seasons a lot as opposed to this year or this month, because I truly believe that God deals a lot with us in seasons and not in chronological time. And when we focus on chronological time, sometimes that's where our frustration with God's timing comes in. But again, probably not for the first time or the last time. I'll digress and get back to my initial point. So I wanted to make this video to tell you about two huge projects I'm working on that I'm so very excited about. And the first one that I want to talk about, some of you who may be friends with me or who have liked my fan page on Facebook know that I recently got married. September 1st, 2013, I married my best friend. And that was one of the biggest moves of my entire life. And it was a journey getting there. And the journey after we said I do has not been there's not been a dull moment since. And in this process of, learning how to be his wife, I feel like I was well briefed in what God said a wife should be before I got married. But there's no way to prepare for being your husband's wife or your wife's husband until you are joined with your husband or your wife. And with that, as I'm going through this journey and being very transparent and willing to share, what we're learning about what God says about marriage, what we're learning about being, each other's spouses, I really want to share that because I don't know that it's shared on a level that's digestible and easy to understand and transparent. Everything is not always a bed of roses. However, there is one principle that I've been studying and getting revelation about from the Bible that's really helped to lay a good foundation for my marriage. And that is the principle of the three-strand cord, which the Bible speaks about in Ecclesiastes 4:12, which brings me to my project. It is the three-strand cord, the Ecclesiastes 4:12 marriage. And in Ecclesiastes 4:12, the Bible speaks about the strength of a three-strand cord and the power of a three-strand cord. The Amplified version reads, "And though a man might prevail against him who is alone, two will withstand him. A threefold cord is not quickly broken." When applying this principle to marriage, the cord consists of man, woman, and God. And not necessarily in that order, but not necessarily in any order specifically, because at any given time in that relationship, each of those parties has to line up with each of those parties. So the Bible depicts many covenants between God and individuals and God and his people as a whole and collectively. However, marriage, as far as I have studied and I have found out, is the only covenant between God and two people. It is the only agreement, only formalized agreement between God and two individuals who are coming and joining together. A covenant is simply defined as an agreement. And the Bible speaks in different places about agreement, where two or three are gathered in my name, and they agree, so is he. And that really is what marriage is about. And I've posted a lot over the last couple of weeks, and I've used the hashtag three-strand cord. I've used the hashtag Ecclesiastes 4, 8, and D, 12, marriage. So if you want to see some of the things I've posted, feel free to like me on Facebook, the Gem God Empowered Miracle, and you can search the hashtag and you can find those on Facebook. And so what I'm going to do to start off with is I'll do a series of videos about the 3-strand cord and about the Ecclesiastes 4 and 12 marriage. God hasn't really given me where to go from there. I know I'll be available to speak on it. So if you're having a couples retreat or a couples weekend or anything like that, and you're looking for a speaker, I'm going to be posting new videos on a weekly basis on this topic. I post all the time on Facebook, so you can find me on Facebook, the Gem God Empowered Miracle, and just kind of check out what I'm posting. And feel free to contact me via my website, www.feliciathegem.com. And if you go to the contact the Gem page, you can always send me a message. Please share the video, comment, subscribe. I want to hear from you. Are there topics that you want me to cover? Are there things that you are dealing with in your own marriage that, you know, maybe you need to look at from a godly perspective, from a 3-strand cord perspective? Are you interested in you yourself building an Ecclesiastes 4 and 12 marriage? Contact me. I want to hear from you. I thank you for spending this time with me. I promise you that this will not be the last time you hear from me, especially not on this subject. And then just to close out the other piece that I've kind of rebirthed, because it was something that I birthed a while back and I put on the back burner. But I realized that throughout my life, as an adult especially, I've always been in relationship with good men. But sometimes I didn't recognize the good in them. Sometimes there were other things that kind of overrode the good in them. Sometimes I was the one who helped them to pull the good out of them. And obviously I didn't marry any of them, so they turned out not to be my good men. But I've contributed to the well-being of many good men. And so I realized that even though right now I am so happily married, I couldn't even say that in any other way, and I do have a good man, I realized that there are so many good men out there. And sometimes they're overlooked because of, you know, the slightest thing, or because everything is not perfect. As women, sometimes we operate according to ideals that are not necessarily realistic. And so in looking at, you know, my past relationships and even some of the very good friends that I have now who are guys, I realized that I have always been, and I certainly still am, and my husband is perfectly fine with that, an advocate for the good man. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm working on a project for that particular man. And some of you probably are wondering, well, what's a good man? How do I know, you know, what a good man is? And what are you working on? And what does that entail? And so, you know, as with everything, God kind of gave me revelation about who this man is and what he looks like, you know, from a descriptive perspective. So the good man holds his family and community down spiritually, financially, ethically, morally, and consistently. He may also be the guy who has taken some of the rougher roads and learned some of life's lessons the hard way. He might have spent some time in jail. He might have lived on the wrong side of the law for a little while, but his heart has always pretty much been in a good place. He just may have been misguided or without proper information or proper support at times. He may be the guy who's always been responsible, done what was best for the collective, and succeeded not only for himself, but for those connected to and dependent upon him. He often gets overlooked and or discounted despite how far he may have come and how hard he often works, often resulting in the fact that some people don't even believe that he still exists. I don't know how many times I've heard there are no good men out here. Where are all the good men at? I'm here to tell you there are good men. There are plenty of good men. And if you've heard, if you've subscribed to, if you believe there aren't any good men out here, that is a myth and you've been terribly lied to. I know plenty of them. I see them up close and personal as well as from a distance every day. And one of the side effects of being a good man is that he often never gets around to truly achieving his dream, truly going after and living out his own passion, either because he's coping with the mistakes he's made without support or without guidance, or because he's taking care of everybody else. So I'm developing some things. I'm working with some guys to develop these things, and I want to do something specifically for the good men out there. Some events, some programs, just to position them to be able to do some of the things that they're not able to do sometimes, and a lot of times it's lack of support and lack of investment. As a woman, I can say that a lot of times when I came in contact with this particular guy, I enabled him instead of investing in him. And now I realize that, knowing a little bit more than I knew back then, knowing a lot more than I knew back then, he doesn't need to be enabled. He doesn't need to be excused. He doesn't need a crutch, but he does need support, and he does need someone to invest in him. And I know people say all the time, well, it takes a man to teach a man how to be a man. I'm not trying to teach men how to be men. What I am intending to do with this Good Man project is to uplift good men to be better men, is to give them that support and that encouragement that sometimes men don't connect on a level to give each other. And if there's ladies watching this video, you may know some of these guys. And so I'm also counting on you to bring those guys to me so that we can, again, uplift these men and give them what they need to become the better man, to become the best man that they can possibly be. You can find all this information on my website. I'll be posting things. You can also look up the hashtag The Good Man. There's a Good Man group, the Good Man group on Facebook. Also look out for the Man Cave Lifestyle Experience and the Man Cave Experience event that's coming up within the next few months, and I'll have more information on that as well. Again, I thank you for watching. I thank you for your time. Share, subscribe, contact me, ask me questions. I'm available to speak. I'm a servant first and foremost, so no ask is out of the question. We're either going to be able to work something out or we're not. So I thank you again for taking this time to watch, and have a blessed day, and I'll see you around.